makers of Sophia, the humanoid robot, announced for a back in 2017, Saudi Arabia granted citizenship to a robot called Sophia. In an interview, Sophia claimed, "I want to use my artificial intelligence to help humans live a better life. I strive to become an empathetic robot." Now, a company behind the humanoid have announced plans to mass-produce the robots by the end of the year, claiming the world of COVID-19 is going to need more and more automation to keep people safe. According to Reuters report, Hanson Robotics, based in Hong Kong, said 4 models, including Sophia, will start rolling out of factories in the first half of this year, just as researchers predict the pandemic will open new opportunities for the robotics industry. Please support my Patreon channel since YouTube has again demonetized my YouTube channel. My Patreon channel will have 5 different videos from my YouTube channel every day. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. The world of COVID-19 is going to need more and more automation to keep people safe. This is what founder and chief executive David Hanson said, standing surrounded by robot heads in his lab. Hanson believes robotic solutions to the pandemic are not limited to healthcare, but could assist customers in industries such as retail and airlines as well. Sophia and Hanson robots are unique to being so human-like, he said. That can be so useful during these times where people are terribly lonely and socially isolated. Hanson said he aims to sell thousands of robots in 2021, both large and small, without providing a specific number. Social robotics professor Johan Horn, whose research has included work with Sophia, said that although the technology is still in relative infancy, the pandemic could accelerate a relationship between humans and robots. Horn said, "I can infer the pandemic will actually help us get robots earlier in the market because people start to realize that there is no other way," said Horn of Hong Kong Polytechnic University. This is by Neil Harris on News Punch. So AI seems to be, they want AI to be very crucial and central to our lives, it seems. Please leave your comments there. Thank you for the support.
With that being said, Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi did not show up for our meeting today. I'm not really that surprised. And some of you have reported a missile was launched a little while ago from North Korea. I will only tell you that we will take care of it. We have General Mattis in the room with us, and we've had a long discussion on it. It is a situation that we will handle. With that being said, Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi did not show up for our meeting today. I'm not really that surprised. We have a lot of differences. They're weak on crime. They're weak on illegal immigration. They want the illegal folks to come pouring into our border, and a lot of problems are being caused, although we've stopped it to a large extent, as much as you can without the wall, which we're going to get. Before this meeting and before this missile launch, they've been weak on military in terms of spending. They're very hard to get for military. They want it for a lot of other things, but the military is always secondary to them. The military, to me, is number one. We won't be here without our powerful military. And we're building it up stronger, bigger, better than ever before, and General Mattis can testify to that. And the other thing, they want tax increases, and we want major tax decreases. So they decided not to show up. They've been all talk, and they've been no action. And now it's even worse. Now it's not even talk. So they're not showing up for the meeting. I will say this, in light of the missile launch, probably they'll be here fairly quickly, or at least discussions will start taking place fairly quickly. I think that we're in a very good position in terms of the meeting we just had over at the Capitol with the Republican senators. It was outstanding. I think we have tremendous support. I was just informed by Mitch that we had a unanimous vote from the Republican side at least. We had a unanimous vote on the tax bill, and it goes now the next step, and I think we're going to get it passed. I think it's going to pass, and it's going to be very popular. It's going to have lots of adjustments before it ends, but the end result would be a very, very massive, the largest in the history of our country, tax cut, and lots of good things are going to happen, including the bringing back to our country of probably will end up being over $4 trillion money offshore that's stagnant at companies, and we're just not able to bring it back. So I think it's going to be a number over $4 trillion. Corporate will be able to compete now against the world. If you look at China, if you look at so many other countries, you look at many of the countries, China's at 15%. They're lower than us. We're getting it down to a level that is either going to be lower or right in the ballpark so that we can compete much better with our companies, our great, great companies. And that means jobs and means lots of other things. I'm very happy to see that the consumer confidence level is just about the highest it's ever been. In fact, I don't want to make any mistakes in front of the press because you'll get me on it, but to the best...
Middle East, more dependent on Russia, is more dependent on the Middle East, more dependent on Russia, says more dependent on the Middle East, more dependent on Russia, more dependent on Venezuela for our supply of energy. I find his decision disgusting.
It's very frustrating that one of the first acts of the new president
Disgusting.
It's very frustrating that one of the first acts of the new president
Disgusting.
It's very frustrating that one of the first acts of the new president
Disgusting.